all kinds of room up here.
Yeah, I don't need to see.
Yeah, this is a crazy perspective to have.
There's plenty of seats up there.
How are you? I was wondering if there's anyone else there.
You're Chris, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cincinnati over there.
Yeah, I helped out with light.
Yeah.
So you don't need to.
So I'm actually helping out Celine tomorrow.
Over there.
It's a crowded, right? Well, you don't get that many people down here. The place is huge. Yeah. Am I supposed to start? Yeah.
So we did actually.
Hello, everybody. I'm not going to use this. It's too loud for me. Come on in. Everybody else, can you come on in? We're going to get started. There are lots of chairs down here. Keep putting more chairs in the back so people can move on up. Let's get you in up here.
That's the point.
Doesn't seem like nobody wants to sit in the front. It's like in school days, doesn't it? Come on in. Oh, now it's quiet. I'll just start then. You can come in and out. Actually, we're going to encourage you to kind of go back and forth a little bit because the poets are all set up in there. You can look at their books. You can buy books out there. I'll say that twice. You can buy books out there. You can buy 3 books out there if you want. You can buy dozens of them. But my name's Steve Rost. I've ran into Anna at one of these poetry things, and I run a place or own a place or have a place, or it sort of has me, I think, called the Poet's Bunker. And I have written one poetry book. I'm not selling them tonight, but it's called In Defense of Innocence. And then that turned into trying to do more poetry books down there, and I'm working on that. And then it turned into this thing where we've got an art gallery. Chris Prey right there, give him a big hand. This guy's written, I think him 8 years to write this book. It's meant to be on the wall. So one of the things you need to do is come down there and see that. It's quite it's an actual art installation that we put in down there. So that's it. Everybody, give a big hand to Cafe Roasters and thank them for doing this because this is really kind of a neat work too. And Hirota I guess he calls it Gerardo downstairs. We'd like you to actually go down, have some coffee. I think everybody's supposed to spend $10. It helps defray the cost of having this place and everything. It's a pretty nice place for them. So that's it. The purpose of this, and as far as I know, Anna sort of was the key person behind it, is to celebrate and showcase local poets with books out in the first days of summer. So here we are. Is this today or tomorrow? Tomorrow is it, yeah, so there you go. Everybody's going to get about 10 to 15 minutes, and I said, I know it's going to be a little disruptive going back and forth, but the fact that we all don't have seats, that makes it easier. You know, you can rotate a little bit, you can go out there and don't feel too funny about doing that. So we're going to be actually photographing it, and that's basically all there is to that. I'm the MC, and I don't do very much. I just introduce the poems, so it's mainly what I'm going to be doing. And first on our list is Ani, and Ani is Ani Jones. Her book is called Iris. It's her debut chapbook, and it's all about grief, queerness, and the wild image of chosen family. And when she gets up, there's a really good seat where she just sat. So you want to grab that one, and it's not in the front, so people might actually take that one.
Can we?
Bold people up here in the front, I like that. All right? Ani? You need a mic or not?
Yeah.
I think you probably do. So Ani is speaking.
Thanks. Can I put my resume right there for you?
You can put anything
Okay,
you want there,
thanks.
yes.
Brought my whole purse up here. Oh, hi everyone. Hello. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you to Anna for inviting me, and ultimately to True for knowing Anna and knowing me and connecting us. And Yeah, I'm reading from Iris. I self-published this in 2023.
Let's
Yeah,
go
self-published.
Self-published.
Yeah. Don't wait for people to publish.
Period.
Yeah, it was actually a senior capstone project, and all of my other artist friends at DAP got a thesis show, and I didn't, and so I was like, I want a thesis show, so I did this, and then I had a reading, and it was really fun. So yeah, I wrote it after my dad passed away, and I thought I was going to be really sad, and I was, but queer people just really held me and took care of me, and so this is a lot about that. Oh, I forgot to set a timer. Okay, and I'm just going to read randomly from this, because I did not plan. But yeah, I'll start with the first one. This one is about like gender and living outside of it and what that means. And I feel I need to mention that I'm a Taurus, and that will come through, I think. Okay, so this first one is I live outside. I live outside. My home is painted in bright blues and greens, which attract butterflies into the bird's nest. The windows are doors, and the sun rises in the west, and the backyard has a front porch, and my picket fence is pink and curvy. It reminds me of my pink, my curvy. Trees grow inside the house, and bed frames sleep outside, where the stars glow in the dark on the ceiling. I have a garden in the attic, abundant with fruit. My labor is fiction. I am not perceived here. I exist and exist again. I bathe in light and white lilies, surrounded by altocumulus paint and colorful space I step through, passing orange cats who bring small acorns to my feet, then crunch on water in the plates I set out for them. We have never asked one another for these things, though I blush every time at the thought of them holding their thought of me, carrying it through the wild places they wander to. The moon hangs from the old moss trees like a disco ball, reflecting off the blades of grass, who sing their favorite songs to the ladybugs that crawl across them. After a long day of rest, they rest some more, as we all should. I have no mirrors except the pond. My only real reflection lies in the eyes of my mother, my nature. Oh, how I love living outside. Spotlight? It's kind of toasty. Okay, so I'll do this next one is like a flirty one that I wrote, and it's kind of funny. And you'll see why. And this is like, you know, I was like really coming into my queerness, and you'll hear that. My first girlfriend was in love with her ex, but that didn't bother me. I liked the way she kissed me. Post-soccer practice, shower steam, sticking, shifting under her comforter, new aloe aftershave, a clean tank top, iced green papaya tea, black racerback binder, cologne on a soft figure, hand on a sweaty thigh, dipping one toe into the bed, then the whole body. Submerging into her sweet hibiscus, summer afternoon, kissing messily, with tongue, without performance, with your t-shirt on, into the evening. Your former friend group, now hers, knocks at the door, and the house of her, knocks at the door, the house is hers for the night. I thank her parents for saying I do on a hot June afternoon. We drive with fake IDs to Dollar General for a pack of Smirnoff Ice, sour candy, sweet lip balm, s'more supplies, bring it all back to her house this evening, to sneaking in, tipsy and kissing on the couch in the finished basement. We fall asleep there, in love, or something she whispered in my ear about you. Let's see.
Hey.
Summer, and it's also Pride Month. Happy Pride Month. This is one about a crush that I had on one of my friends, and it was like so intense, as queer crushes are. Just so intense. Okay. I'm thinking of that meme where it's like, mind you, this is my first impression of you, and it's like, oh wow. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So it's called "I Met June in the Middle of April, and We Painted Each Other." Laughing, without asking why. We had purple flowers between our teeth, slicing in. Two lingering herbalists chewing on gardenias, on daydreams of each other, in thrifted denim on hot days under fitted caps, filled with water and wanting to be closer, to hold the eyes a little longer in our muddy and forgetful hands. We sit inside ephemera, eating dandelions, mending heartbreak. We watch bees dance together in the backyard, plucking chords. We both feel we've been here before, turning this corner together again, again, again. So, I'll read another gender one. Because those are fun. I was really inspired for this piece by the art of kintsugi, and just bringing something back together that was broken and making it more beautiful. So this one is called "My Body Was Not Upset with Me When I Let Go of Gender." Even though they shared this fleshy home for years, running up red stairs and resting on a pink couch, their goodbye was short, complete, a kiss on the cheek, good luck out there. Afterwards, my body searched for the smile, stored away like a time capsule. The name taken into safekeeping, only spoken by the inner monologue, waiting for precious earth to embrace it, to press into the larynx, unpolished, sticky to the touch, humid lines and blurry curves, but yet here it has been all along. Look closer. The tension braided around my frame unravels slowly. The picture is sure of something, the voice lowering an octave, falling into now. My ears adjust to new pronouns which nourish like water into the cracks of an old cave. The broken bowl is mending with gold leaf and lacquer. I am the body. I am the body. I am the body. I am. So yeah, I wrote this after my dad died, so there are a couple of poems about grief and my dad in these, and I'm gonna finish out with those and then just a poem about poetry, because it, at the end of the day, is the thing that helped me through it all. So this next one is called "February Arrives Outside in Morning." Our yard, once a buzzing orchestra, is now a vacant stage. Awaiting the next act, our flowers shrivel out of tune. Yet I find temperature sitting higher in tree branches, humming melodies, spreading lyrics beneath our feet. We take off our socks to feel the music swell between our toes. There is still a song in you, perennial. You will sing again. Hymns for my father's hands who planted you, creased palms, gentle with your stem. Do you remember him, perennial? He is with your roots now, extending out. Can you feel him, perennial? Will he return with you in the springtime? You rest for a while before blooming again, and I wonder if I am mirroring you, if this lifetime of mine is, in the grand scheme of things, one short winter. And perhaps at the end of my winter, when I sink down into the root system, I will arrive in March or April and see him waiting for me in full bloom. Okay. I have two more. One's slightly long and then the other one's really short. So, right here. So it should be perfect. Okay, this one's also about my dad. And after he passed away, when we were going through his things, and I had started using new pronouns and exploring gender and things, something that really connected my mom and I was when she offered for me to look through his box of neckties for me to wear. And sort of, be more free in my gender expression. So that was something that brought us together. And so I felt really moved to write about that. This is called You Left a Box of Neckties. You left a box of neckties, and I dipped my hand into the pond of them, swimming like fish, their spotted tails spilling over, dripping cold water onto the table. The droplets gathered together like old friends. At the funeral, our family noticed how short my hair was, just above my shoulders, still enough for Mom to lean into and play with anxiously as more people landed on our front steps looking for you. I lost my heart and cut my hair shorter in need of something physical to change, to fall in alignment with the intangible truth of your absence. My neck was exposed to February's freezing hands, which wrapped around me like a scarf too small. So I went to your closet in search of something more kind, something that could hold me. Mom notices, tells me I should wear your ties. This is the first time she has affirmed my nonconformity. She must hear me sneaking around late at night with masculinity, inviting it in, playing with its hair, gazing into its eyes in the safety of my moonlit bedroom, bathed in starlight and sincerity. It looks back at me. Mom, it looks back at me. She realizes, looks back at me, realizes it must love me too, realizes my father wouldn't want me to go cold. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for your time tonight. I'm so honored to be the first one going. Thank you to Anna for working with me in this switch up of scheduling. Very efficient planner. And this is my last piece. It's called Poetry Found Me. And it's just sort of about that entire experience and how I was able to process with poetry. And it personifies it in a way. Poetry found me standing outside, eyes closed, palms open. On May 11th, rain begins in droplets, small mirrors on smooth olive skin, holding my face, brushing along eyelashes like a lover bending time to return to me. We lay together in fresh water, sweet blue, soft as a pillow we can rest upon.
Thank you. Fantastic. Are you Dell, the photographer? I'm supposed to thank you for being here. All right. Fantastic start. I do have one little other, there's two other housekeeping things. That is the restroom right there. There is one. Of course, we stand right up next to it, so it makes it a little hard to get to it. And I would sometime like to get everybody's contact information that would like to give to me so I can contact you about the quotes. So. Now, our next poet is True.
Oh,
woo!
yeah. There's some space here, you guys.
Where's True?
Right here. Let me try to get
How do you say your last name? Is it Revere?
River.
River. True River.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Now I'm supposed to give a little introduction here.
Okay, go.
His book is Blurrvisions. It's a poetry collection that explores grief, emotions, dreams, and quiet inner turbulence, capturing what it feels like when memories blur, feelings overlap, and you're left trying to make sense of yourself in moments that never fully come into focus.
Yes, absolutely.
That's poetic to start with.
Well,
So
thanks.
give him a big hand and keep it on.
Thank you to Anna for, can you move maybe the mic here? Let's see.
The mic works.
Yes, good. Awesome. Thank you to Anna. Round of applause for Anna.
Yeah!
Hello. So, I have a couple of poems to read. Some are from Blurry Visions, and then some are from my new book that's going to come out on my birthday, July 26th, called Cosmogenesis of a Queer Human Being. So, yes, happy Pride. And Ani, your set was incredible. Thank you for sharing your words. Let's see here. This poem is called Sands. When I'm swimming in the crystal clear beaches of Destin, Florida, is it too dark to wonder if the sand scratching against my teeth belongs to a body? A body of someone who was burned alive and had their ashes scattered by the sea. On my canines, there are remnants of bones that belong to a Jewish boy, forced to clean the chambers under the threat of death. And I have no clue because all that matters to me are the waves. And beneath my feet, I am standing on his family and their families and their families, and on my bottom molars, ashes from the ribcage of my mother. And I swape the salt water from the ocean, and it tingles at the gum line like a fresh sip of Listerine. I dump my tongue beneath the pool of liquid in my mouth, extending the burning sensation because I've come to learn that drowning isn't the only form of cleanliness. And grief is not just a single road. It is a roundabout that continues to echo once you realize how sun rays still hit your skin relentlessly like a flock of seagulls with their beaks aimed at your heart. It feels like there's emptiness. And on my wisdom teeth that somehow made it into my mouth without being pulled, I ask myself if it's too dark to wonder if the ashes of my fellow queer people lives here too. I wonder if anyone has thought of this metaphor before. Call it trauma, call it performative, or maybe call it me being an empath and a creative, because I care about the stories. I care about what happens when America flosses out the people, the Matthew Shepards, Seth Walshes, Murray Fausts, and Leela Alcorns, the Marsha P. Johnsons, Rita Hesters, and Dime Does. Blood on the 1969-foot-long string of Oral-B Proglide. Does my intensity scare you? Does it come off as bitchy? Do I come off as a cunt? Do I take up too much of the spotlight? Do I really get under your skin? Does my confidence bother you? Do you see the work I put in? Do you see the wind push the ash into my kneecaps as I desperately try to let my mother go into the ocean, her ashes into the ocean? Do you see the laws of physics betraying me? Do you see me shaking into my partner's arms trying to finish and recite her poem? Do you see the tears holding hands with the ocean? Do you feel the sand mixing with the sunscreen? Granules all over your body, ashes all over your body, or the bodies all over your body? Is the sand filling in the gap in your teeth? Do you feel prettier now? Do you feel suddenly paralyzed by the survivor's guilt? Do you feel the weight of an empty table at Yellow Cab from years ago when no one invited you to sit with them and now everyone remembers your name? Do you feel the pressure to be better? The fish feed on it all when my feet kick up the sand at the shore in Destin, Florida. A beautiful place. They like to swim around my ankles, and perhaps it's just a metaphor after all, right? Are they feeding on my friends? My family? Or is it still possible that there's still ash in my teeth and the sand of them all is just in my soul? Thanks. Oh, yeah. I hope you guys agree I should put that in the next book.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Thank you. Let's see here. This next one is called Questions for Artificial Intelligence. If I can find it. Oh, there we go. When they make AI of me, will they make videos of me reciting poetry I never wrote? Will they make me sound like someone that I'm not? Will they make it read my stanzas, every letter, every consonant connecting into a vowel? Every noun stretching outward to the verb? Will it create new words, new metaphors, new allegory, new me? New me that sounds like me, but is not me. When they make AI of me, will they create a video of me racing into my mother's kitchen and stopping her from overdosing? Or will they make it look like I'm the one plunging the needle into her veins? As if I'm somehow responsible for her addiction. Who needs AI when both letters are already in the word addiction to begin with? Will they create a photograph of me with better skin and better clothes and better outlooks on life when they make AI of me? Will I still know what it's like to have sand between my toes? Will I crave the kiss of an ocean wave the way a sunburn craves the aloe? Will I be baptized at a homophobic church and sent to a conversion camp just for the viewer's pleasure? What's the prompt? What's the prompt? What's the prompt? Can I borrow that prompt? Can I click? Will I have to watch others commit hate crimes on myself? Or fake videos of myself committing hate crimes on others? Will they hang me by the artificial ropes of intelligence until my own life bows to the VR headset of consumerism? Until the sunset is encoded with a reality so believable that I don't know the difference anymore. And when they make AI of you, or you, or you, what will the new you do? The fake new you? Will you know that it's not you? Will it be difficult to know yourself? Will you know if this isn't me? What does AI you sound like? What does AI me sound like? What's the prompt? What's the prompt? Sorry, you have reached the limit on your free AI subscription. Please insert all emotion into the pay station now. Please insert all joy, all art, all creativity, all love, all originality, all versions of yourself into the pay station now. If you can't afford the payment, we have a special discount trial. Only half off now, only half off now, only half. What's the prompt for you? What's the prompt for you? I love your depression, your anxiety. What's the prompt for those? What's the prompt for your grief? What's the prompt for 9/11? What's the prompt for the nukes blasting Nagasaki and Hiroshima? What's the prompt for making the First Amendment look like it doesn't protect free speech? What's the prompt for slavery? What's the prompt for the Holocaust? What's the prompt for Hitler being successful? What's the prompt for World War III? What's the prompt? When I'm old and they show me videos saying, this was me, this was you, and they show you videos saying, this was you, this was, will we know? Memory is a strange thing. We remember things because we think that we remember them. But every memory is just remembering. And when our brains are clouded with memories of things that aren't real, do those memories become real? What is real? If the AI sounds like you and the AI looks like me, can we just go to sleep and let the AI dream for me? After all, if you look at the word, you need an A and an I to spell humanity. Or do you? Thank you. All right. Let's see here. This poem is called I Hope Death Feels Like. I hope death feels like being picked up from the floor and carried into a familiar bedroom, where I'm still half asleep and falling into the cradle of my mother's arms. I hope death feels like smelling Sunday breakfast being cooked for you by someone you love, and sharing the table with all who have passed before me. I hope death feels safe. I hope I'm able to witness every memory in a slow motion speed run toward nirvana. And yes, that means I'd also like to meet Kurt Cobain. I hope death is like having a 7-course dinner with a film reel of nostalgia. The refrigerator drawings with the sun in the corner. My fingers tracing the brick line on the side of a building like a Pac-Man level. Where I don't have to worry about the ghosts. Where the fruit reaches me before I reach the garden. Where my young brain is detached from all worry and inevitability. I hope death is intergalactic. I hope I can stretch my body around the event horizon of a supermassive black hole and see Andromeda and the Milky Way finally colliding in an incredible explosion of color. I hope death feels like an open world game where I can request to speak with anyone, talk to the Egyptians who built the pyramids, the Inca, the Mayans, the creators of Stonehenge, and watch a match at the Colosseum. I hope death is like one big art museum where I can step into Van Gogh's Starry Night and right into Monet's Water Lilies. I'm just afraid that death will feel like Munch's painting The Scream, lonely and lost in a field of scarlet reds and orangish yellows. I hope death feels like no more anxiety, no more worry, no more regret, no more stress, pain, this, that, no more. Yet without my humanity in death do I exist? Without my emotions in the end will I feel? Without sentience and absence do I remember? Without my brain is there no echo of my soul? I hope death answers these questions. I hope I make the best of my life before that day comes. I hope death just means we are all on our way to knowing and the becoming and the metamorphosis of ourselves, to fly with monarchs and to dance under every shining star, to be those shining stars, to touch Saturn's rings and to be given the power to quiet Jupiter's storms, to meet the Greek gods in Olympus and to visit every realm of possibility. I hope death comes when death is right and you are gifted with an ocean of tomorrow mornings. I hope life gives itself to you before death offers you more somewhere else. Sometimes it takes death to see the appreciation of your life. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey Anna, I didn't start a timer. How much time I got?
I'll take one more.
One more? Okay, cool. Let me think. One more poem. That's a big. I gotta think of it.
No pressure.
Feeling the pressure. Mine are a bit longer. Sorry, Ani. This is from my book, Blurry Visions, and if I find it here, it's called Chasing Cars. It's about my personal experience with my mother. She passed in 2020 of fentanyl-laced heroin overdose, and her favorite song was Chasing Cars by Snow Patrol. And so at the end of the poem, you'll see why it's called Chasing Cars. New message from Mother. Would you like to open this message? Yes. Reading message. Son, I am in jail again for using heroin. Can you please send me money for my birthday? All you have to do is send it to my jail account, and I can use it to purchase food and items. Typing message. Would you like me to read your message back to you? Yes. Mom, I can send you food for your birthday. I'll order the meal through the paywall portal on the jailhouse website. I'll get your favorite, a cheeseburger and some wings. I'll also add some feminine hygiene products to the list, just in case. I'm glad you're alive. I love you, Mom. Is there anything else you need? Waiting. New message. Opening message. Son, thank you for sending the biggest cheeseburger ever for my birthday. The girls who were mean to me were so jealous. Oh, also, can you cancel the feminine hygiene products and just send me money instead? By the way, I really need to get out of here, son, because your grandma, my mom, is dying of ovarian cancer. Son, I need to get out of here. I need to get my lawyer to talk to Grandpa so we can sign off on an emergency release form. That way I can be there for Grandma. She's dying. She has cancer, remember? Did I say that already? I can't deal with the idea that she could die before I get out. Here's his number, the lawyer, 555-735-2773. What do the numbers spell when you dial them on the keypad, son? RELAPSE, relapse, maybe. If you call him, you can help me get out on an emergency release too. Love you, son. Send me a message soon. XOXO, contemplating, thinking, worrying, realizing. Hello, this is your keyboard. I can tell you're anxious. You don't touch vowels the same, especially the I. The I is very important. It can be helpful in sentences such as, I feel that you are lying, Mother. I feel that your addiction is speaking for you, Mother. I feel that you are using me and Grandpa as a way to get out of jail just so you can do drugs again, Mother. And you're using Grandma's health as a pity card, emotionally manipulating us for your advantage. Would you like to send any of these sentences with the letter I? No. Typing. Mom, is there anything I can do other than that? Sending message. Waiting, message received, opening message. Son, can you please send me the lyrics to Chasing Cars by Snow Patrol? Typing, yes, I can do that. I love you, Mom. 2 days later. Ring. Hello, is this true? Yes. Who is this? I'm afraid we found your mother on the kitchen floor this afternoon, and she did not make it. Red light, traffic, anxiety, heartbeat, film reel, memories, traveling, hugs, laughs, crying, touch, smell, phantom, funeral, ghost, cremated. Cemetery, ash, ocean. Acceptance. Typing message to a higher being. What would you like to send? Recording audio. Recording now. Forget what we're told before we get too old. Show me a garden that's bursting into life. Let's waste time chasing cars around our heads. I need your grace to remind me to find my own. If I lay here, and if I just lay here, would you lie with me and just forget the world? Sending message. Thank you.
Thank you. That was fantastic. Thank you very much. Keep going. It's getting better and better. It's great. Next is Yohanan. I just met him. He's back there. That's the bathroom. You need to know where the bathroom is. I told you that. Yohanan Rosemeier, his book is called Table Wisdom. Is that right?
Yes, yeah.
Table Wisdom is a large collection of poems of all different forms that tell the stories of universal reconciliation as it relates to history, spirituality, and community. You're up. Get the biggest bottle of water. It has its own chair.
Oh my goodness. Thank you all for being here. This is my first ever poetry feature that I have ever done. And the first two people did not make that easier. I am currently about a third of the way into writing that collection currently, and I'm really excited to share it. And so the first one that I'm going to start with is a poem that kind of displays a lot of what I'm trying to do with this collection. It is a duplex called Justice Song, and the duplex is an incredibly subversive poetry form that is so good at just really subverting your understanding of a topic or a setting or just whatever it may be. And this one is specifically about the shrewd manager parable, where this person launders money to stop the usury that a rich man is using to oppress these farmers. And a lot of people read that wrong. They try and make God the rich man, and it's stupid. And this one says what it is a little better, I think. Fall from the boughs and fleeting fruit, face first to taste the bitter root. Music plays in the homes of those you loot, usury rescinded and interest upended from your justice song. Tell me, bard, to whom does joy belong? Claim in your denouement to whom joy belongs. Joy is a corporate bought song. Happiness is corporate bought joy. Joy is a manager fired by the owner of happiness. People were fired for not paying the interest, like less fresh fruits wasted for fear of disinterest, like a steward assumed to waste funds in the vacuous ground. I misused your usury by planting a seed of doubt in the vociferous crowd. Oh, bard, your justice tumbles down above your rooted crowd. Fall from the boughs and fleeting fruit, face first to taste the bitter root. So this next one is a villanelle titled Inviting Reconciliation. It is about one of the craziest stories in the Bible, where basically there were these two nations in war, and this prophet was giving information to this other nation, and then they eventually figured that out, and they tried to go kill him with an entire army. And then when the army surrounded the little hidden village that he was, there was he said this prayer, the entire army went blind. He took them to the other nation, and the king was basically hey, can we kill them now? And he was no, bitch, feed them. And then there was years and years of peace after that, and so you need a villanelle to describe how crazy that story is. And there's also character voices. Strike me blind to taste and perceive abundance. Feel and eat the textures of recompense. In a sixth sense, revere chariots of fire, inviting reconciliation. There is instigation in these ranks, and I am flanked by confabulation, creating from bedroom cries a crisis. Strike me blind to taste and perceive abundance. A threat lobbed by a loose prophet. untrustworthy harlot dealing in conspiratorial hysterics such as in A Sixth Sense, revered chariots of fire inviting reconciliation. Obliteration imminent, chariots surrounding or consuming the township, strike me blind to taste and perceive abundance. What pray tell is this? Stallions of reverie and divine blinding of the opposition. In A Sixth Sense, revered chariots of fire inviting reconciliation. Sealed by the annals, by empiricists sits, emperors seeking endless expansion, including mass death, yet as their eyes are blot, witness the feast that ought always exist. Strike me blind to taste and perceive abundance, in A Sixth Sense, revered chariots of fire inviting reconciliation. So this next one is the title poem of the collection, and it came after I had a while of writer's block, but then seeing the more viral moments of the scourge on the earth, that is ICE and the current administration against Renee Good and Alex Preddy and stuff like that. There was so much anger there, not just for that, but also for the less viral things, such as the killing of Keith Porter multiple weeks before then, not to mention all of the terrible conditions and deaths within the ICE detention facilities. And so this poem is in acrostic, and the acrostic is said in the first line of the poem. Don't extenuate humility to feed hegemonic delusions. Offer yourself the gift of being grafted into a different garden. Needs of plenty of species go unmet in a plain field of grass. There are narratives weaved of sacrifices deemed necessary for the perfect picture, elevating image over the image of God and expecting Zion to match your imagined zenith. Exeric pining of paradise leads you to perceive business as usual when your habitat ought to be turning on its head, tearing at the bed you share with your comfort instead of offering a place at the foot of the mattress. Except Ruth's quest is always taught for the sake of hegemonic heteronormativity and conveniently forgets how she's called a Moabite at least 10 times. Naomi and Ruth are literally denied place to lounge by the typical Boaz who doesn't want to help out, unless there is a Boaz that rebels against the next of kin, against the supremacist notion of conveniently forgetting how traditional family values equals privilege. Table wisdom deems such a dream idolatry, only logically possible when religion is a spectacle for power. Enough of the clean sheets and gleaming blades of grass have humility. Unleash the hospitality only offered to the diehards of your dogma. Make no mistake in your investment. Intentionally listen. Lock your proselytizing tongue. Increase your sight outside your algorithmic echo chamber. Tryhards after trauma convincing you to ignore your eyes and ears made to convince you of basic human maxims. You're not only numbing, but abnegating your nervous system, tearing the threads of your body's tapestry in order to maintain systems of oppression with which you benefit. Feel the consequences of your actions as you stitch together your neurons flayed, empathy splayed out for surgery, but your lenses can't make you see you are holding the wrong type of knife. End it. Death can at least make you see more clearly the historically right side. History, though, unfortunately remembers where you forget that you always had the option of visiting the optician. Empathy isn't dead, but you tried to kill it. God said do not murder, but you're complicit in every breath of feigned ignorance, every genocide permitted, except the white one. Must this house party be invaded by the poor, crippled, lame, and blind? Opticians confirm that those demographics see better than those that haven't updated their prescription since Trump took office. 9 at least. The 10th is an ICE agent. IDF trained to sell a lie to community eyes for profit while they compete in a sports championship, cherishing their guns like the highest seat at the Super Bowl taken by a pedophile they're dying to impress. Don't you know the revolution won't be televised but suppressed, except you did know every time you neglected to serve on the Sabbath. Loosening the legs of your least favorite table chair seems intended. Upending maxims to fit confirmation bias is more than subconscious. So is ignoring the invite to a better life, all while slaying the messenger. I mean protester. Oh, I mean citizen and even a friend. Now it's you. Set yourself free from empire because that's actually what Jesus invited you to do.
Okay.
That one is based on a series of teachings where Jesus is like challenging the religious institutions of the day, and it felt very apt to put it in that more modern context. So this next one is a lot shorter. It is a senryu, which if you don't know, is the same syllable structure as a haiku, but technically a haiku is more about nature and has a cutting word within it. A senryu is supposed to be more about human nature and does not necessarily include that cutting word. Also, this is very much not my book, but I do have something, hold on, where'd you go? I do have a little design that I made for this poem that can kind of like work as a little like bookmark, or you can put it wherever else you would like. But here it is. They are pay what you want, even if it's free.
Those are on the table out there.
Yes, yeah. Okay, so this is called Washing Feet. Washing fleeting feet. But what do you do this for? You will understand. That is like kind of like encapsulating this idea of like learning things through fruitful action, and it's like based on John chapter 13, where Jesus washes his disciples' feet, and they like don't even get a chance to understand that until like much later. And I think that's a really beautiful thing that can be extrapolated even outside of that context.
Yes.
So this last poem is a form that I got from a dear Columbus poetry friend named Zach Hanna. I don't know if anybody knows them. Thank you, Drew. This is a Venn diagram poem, and just to like see it as it's being performed, this represents one perspective, this represents another perspective, and this represents a united perspective.
Okay.
In this case, it is God and me and God and people together, speaking to the importance of solidarity and organization in the time that we live in, and just doing things for the sake of one another while also learning from each other. Glorification is met in the pinnacle at the peak of raising, authority in destitution, restitution seen through the lens that exists betwixt my palms, with which I see the totality that is mine. As the blood of God bursts the veins of time, as small as a grain of salt, I have trained to see what is ours. What matters most is not my power, but thine unity. But thine unity with which we can work together, participation anticipated throughout the age, triunely exemplified and ultimately refined, like fine gold shining off a maintained flame, let glory be mutually obtained, let hesychasm be controversial no more, glory cannot be created nor destroyed, mutual divine exists despite a dogma wishing to dictate it, an organization exemplifies that which ought to be worshipped. Come to me to find rest, and by rest I mean the freedom to use gifts for mutual fruitfulness. Who has the largest table? Who has a few walks? Who can make access when the economy is turned off? Who will set the expectations like Agabus? Who will distribute like Joseph? I will not be complicit in an empty word. I will not enable the co-opting of a neoliberal circle jerk. Keep the word of those that have refused to let our present Gehenna get out of hand. Give from your own hand the grains that started by the indigenous, and give them credit for their abundance. If you believe I am divine, believe nature is too. If you believe nature is divine, believe they are too. If we believe we are divine, what then shall we do? If I believe I am divine, then like God, I have gifts to give and gifts to use. Protect on behalf of love, grace, and community. Make joy be complete in truth. May names carry sanctity, known intimately to them, and sanctified in you. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was called Work of Beauty.
I don't think Yohanan has to worry about following anybody. I don't think so. All right, great. This is going great. Next we have Alexandra. Where is Alexandra?
I'm right here.
Oh, good. She makes an entrance from the other room. Well, I said all that stuff about mingling, but I guess everybody's captivated. But somewhere along the line, you gotta buy coffee here, right? Alexandra McIntosh, right?
Yes,
I
that's
pronounced
me.
that correctly.
You
That's
got
pretty
it.
straightforward. And your book is Bowlfuls of Blue. It's a poetic survey of the communities that shape life, human, animal, spiritual, botanical, and geographical, in search of wonder, communion, in the natural world. You're welcome. You gonna use the mic?
I will.
Sorry, mic.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. And thank you so much, everyone that's read so far. And Anna, so much for getting this together. This is such a cool space. I'm going to start with a poem from my book called My Soul Rests in Little Pieces of Beauty. My soul rests in little pieces of beauty. A pileated woodpecker in the dogwood tree. Gray strokes of fog against the hillside. The creek, gold field, red-winged blackbird in the chinkapin oak, goldenrod in ditches along the highway, milkweed and mountain mint, wild hyacinth and mist flower, the coolness coaxing deer into clearings, wild onion, marigold and phlox, the spider's web shiny with dew, slow rain, the bent grass at midnight, the water rises, the river swells. So that book this is obviously from my book, Bowlfuls of Blue, which I have some for sale out there. This book came out a few years ago, but I've continued this sort of survey of wonder and community through my poetry, and most recently I've been doing a collaborative project with my husband, who's in back, Brad Davis. He's an oil painter, and so we've been kind of exploring the intersection of literary and visual art. We have a Substack called Plein Air Poetry, and I have some giveaways out on our table out there. We have some postcard prints with a painting of his on the front, and then like a poem of mine on the back. So you guys take them; they're free, and there are some bookmarks. Free, they're free, and then there are some bookmarks for sale too. We have like sets of 5 bookmarks that have a painting and then some poetry, like lines of my poetry on them too. But so Brad has been painting in plein air, which before I met him, I didn't really know what that was, but it's an impressionist term it's French for in the open air. And I was already writing in plein air, I just didn't have the word for it, but I really love this idea of going out into nature, and that also informing your work, like on some of Van Gogh's plein air paintings are like flies caught in the oil paint. So it's really a picture of this moment spent in nature, which poetry can be that too. But I've just been thinking about that more intentionally. So I thought I'd read a newer poem. This one, we go to Acadia National Park in Maine every summer. So this is from up there. I write a lot about Kentucky, but I thought I'd read a Maine poem today. So it's called Granite and Mist. There are no otters at Otter Cliffs, no sea otters anywhere in the Atlantic. But further inland, a creek winds through the island toward these cliffs, and people used to see river otters. Nowadays, people come out here looking for otters, only to find the rushing waves breaking on the sharp boulders and edges of rocks, the peaks of water further out, puckering like quilt fabric. The mist is so heavy today, the horizon is hard to find. Gray water fades in a gradient to white sky. Every so often, a boat goes by, dodging the buoys that mark lobster traps, their long stretches of braided ropes blooming from the bottom of the ocean. There may not be lobsters here when our kids are grown, and if there are, there won't be so many traps. One or the other has to go, both of them if it's the lobsters. The tide is coming up, filling the rocks around the shallow pools where earlier we found invasive green crabs and the oysters they hadn't yet eaten. Long after we're gone, the moon will still pull the water away from these cliffs, send it crashing back. The rivers, full of otters, will still spill into the ocean. We'll miss seeing the lobster buoys, the rusty boats slipping through the mist. This is a poem from my book, but from closer to home. It's called Paintings of Waterfowl, which is kind of like a genre of nature paintings. If you look it up, there are some good ones. Rain against the earth's surfaces, a million tiny percussions. If I couldn't have arms, I'd want a duck beak, feather layers to tuck it into, warm as your down comforter. A few rain notes splash in the creek, drop down rapids, sink in coolness toward the ocean, the salty coastal birds. You sit beside me, the field by the creek, the pockets and folds of Appalachia fill with the sound, like the duck's eyes when they open, filling with light. Okay, and then I thought I'd read this one. It's about my grandpa, my pawpaw, and it's called Portrait of My Grandfather as a Boy. In childhood, his brothers carried him down from their house on the bluff, carried him down the muddy slopes of grass, the tree roots winding like black snakes curled up in the August sun, down to the water lapping against the slimy bank. Laughing, they'd throw him in, the splash speckling their tan chests and faces, the wrinkles around their eyes. Gasping and spitting, he'd surface, paddle toward them, toward the brown bank, where the green water rocked against the mud. It was a game they played, carrying the littlest boy to the water, him fighting and smiling. He liked the game, the closeness of their bodies as they paraded under the sycamores, the cool shock of water, the splashing toward shore. He liked climbing out of the river, muddy hands pulling him onto the bank, liked chasing his brothers around, their bodies shiny from the water droplets. But most of all, he liked the quiet, the movement beneath the water after the splash, the slow movements of his body toward the muddy floor of the river, the squish of mud through his toes, and the quick sliding back up towards the surface, up towards the air, towards the sycamores, and the laughing of his brothers. Thank you all. Okay, just read a couple more. Let's see. This one's about my great aunt. And it is called Go Lightly, which is sort of a reference to Truman Capote's, oh my goodness.
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yes, Holly Go Lightly, yes. Breakfast at Tiffany's. You got it. I knew you did. Okay, Go Lightly. The antique file cabinet by my bedroom window still holds my great aunt's divider tabs. Current medical, museum exhibits, symphony, auto sale. The moon's rarely visible from this window, but the street lamp lights the curtains. My great aunt never married, spent her life on airplanes and runways. When I can't sleep, I trace moon phases in my mind. Full, waxing first quarter. I heard the things they called her, my aunt, brittle words. Aunt May would laugh, adjust her scarf. In Mexico, the crescent moon hung all day over the turquoise water, white streaks of sandbars like the ivory comb on her dresser. Soft things need soft language to match. I think I will end with, actually I might do two more. These are short ones. Is that okay? Yeah, I think I'm, okay. This one's called The Pond in Front of the Library. Another one about my grandpa and ducks. So, everything goes. Okay, The Pond in Front of the Library. And this doesn't take place at Northern Kentucky University's pond, but my grandpa did go to school there and I got my master's there. And so that's, I sort of picture it there posthumously after this happened. But so if you know that pond, you can picture it. Because there's some good duck watching at the NKU pond. All right, The Pond in Front of the Library. The pond in front of the library is dark green, unnatural green, like the ponds in front of big houses along the highway. The water looks thick, more like jelly than water, curdled by the flutter of duck feet under shining duck bodies. Water whipped like the butter from milk, on my great-grandfather's farm, the milk they churn into ice cream on Sundays. My grandpa says he's never tasted ice cream so sweet. Not in his wife's pies or the pastries from the deli on 5th Street, not in the blue ribbon shortcake at the church picnic. He says he worries his memory is failing. We're sitting on the bench, watching the birds circle in the water, and I notice the lines fanning out from the corners of his eyes match my own.
Yeah.
And then I'll end, this is actually the first poem in my book, but I'll end with this one. 10,000 Things. I tried to stay awake for the meteor shower, the Perseid outburst, dripping fire, searing brackets across the sky. I fell asleep beneath an off-white ceiling, a fan humming circles, breathing coolness against my face and hands. I once heard a man say, God is doing 10,000 wonderful things right now, and you're only aware of one. I notice, though, how the breeze from the fan lifts loose threads from my grandmother's quilt, the streetlight turning them gold. We must be underestimating.
Thank you, Alexandria, for those personal poems, taking us to Maine, taking us to Mexico, and it also made me think of the reflecting pool at in the Washington Monument when you talk about the green palm.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of a big topic today. Yeah, vandals, right. Anna, this is our leader, Anna. Give her a big hand. She's been on kind of a world tour, I know, around town here with her book. Bloom, Break, Wilt. I just bought one too, so everybody should buy it. You're not getting enough sales, but after this thing's over, we want to get that done. Released in March. That's about when I first met her, actually. Explores themes of feminism, masculinity, and the war between nature and the man-made world. Anna.
Thank you, Anna.
Well, thank you so much for coming, everyone. I am on the last final stop of my book tour. I started it in March 20th, first day of spring, and I'm ending it first day, well, basically first day of summer. So I'm exhausted, but I'm going to do one more event and wanted to go out with a bang. So I put this book out. It's called Bloom, Break, Wilt. It's basically about a character. It follows this girl's journey named Chrysanthemum. She starts in nature, she's born in nature, but as she grows older, she notices in the horizon the shining city and how beautiful it is, and so she wants to go there. But when she makes it to the city, she finds out the man-made world is not actually as beautiful as it is from the outside. So she quickly longs to come back to nature, but how she does that is by dying and being buried in the ground, and that's her return to roots. So this book is 20 poems that just follows that 3-step journey when she blooms, and then she breaks in the city, and then she wilts. So I'm going to read probably 5 poems, and we'll start with the bloom section. I also, in the beginning, I sit on the floor, so some of you might not be able to see me, but I'm still going to do it anyway.
Let's go. Should I move then?
I will need it back.
It's not far.
Clementine. Outside of the gymnasium, queen of 64 pack of crayons, of double missing parents, and I should kiss you under the slide. The teachers won't be looking. I go home, and the grown-ups make fun of my plans to marry you tomorrow and every day after. It isn't fun anymore, laughing at the lunch table. I kick you so hard that your shoe is across the room. There are whispers, bruises, and now we are with the principal, the closed door, and we find out that love distracts us from the homework. We go back to class soured. Later, I might see you at the store. Only one of us in trouble. Please, Georgia, gorge on two pale petals engorged in a Ford truck after work. Explore Red River rust, eroding clay crevices once every month. A gorgeous floor contracting. IV your name into a vein, inject the meandering wet. Teach the mud about lust until it's sore and mistaken.
Wow.
Every landlocked traveler eventually arrives at the ocean throbbing. Landlords are the pits of otherwise orange life. So torn are the lovers meant to be together. So worn are the fingers stitched, then untethered. Tallulah, do you still shine when I'm not looking? Lose your loofah in the canyon. Tooth your truths during slumber. Let the coyotes eat our muscles. We will clean our bodies with our bones in the sheets of earth that made us. Brave the flakes just to welcome warmer weather. No one conceives notions like us. Infant love notes grow up. Our bodies may be cubicled, our tongues too failed to hold. Let us escape this nonsense. I have this desire in me that I think could take us.
Come on.
Break. Perennial. It's getting late again. Late, like the first street light of the year has just illuminated, like the sun is disappearing earlier, emptying attendees, desperately swallowing what little yellow light remains, greedily leaving the rest of us only in darkness. Parents, call the days home. If I was a day, I'd ask to stay out a little longer because fields of gold aren't supposed to run low. Remember the sangria shores and the first dresses worn this summer. I touch those cherished threads now in the back of the closet, which is more like a photo album of accomplishments. How freely I liquefied inside loose fabrics. The humidity stuck to my face until I was golden too. A force field, like summer is protection, like I cannot be touched, like you cannot touch me. Like I can run faster than the flowers when they are not overcome by bees. I have no name that is signed with survival. I am just surviving. I don't have to think about it. I am just on a run in the summer, and I don't know how to be scared. I never learned a feeling like that. I am never touched by something that stings. Maybe in this kind of world, you would even call me tough. But I am not a day, and it is already September, and I'm only wearing running clothes, and I guess a pretty face, but on this day, you make a choice that filters the whole year. Your unwashed, calloused fingers forcefully spread open the backs of my Polaroids. I documented so many moments this summer that they created a map. What if you were a map? Would you cover my hands with cuts? And what type of path would you put me down? You'd wind around me, a scroll. Look how the boy holds, like you are seeking another victim, like you crave my suffocation in your paper. And what would you have then? Rolled around a girl who is questioning, why me? You could have picked anyone else, and you will. Once I'm gone, once I am gone, grow me again in your front yard. It will not be the same me, but it will be close enough. There are plenty of seeds. The years stretch into infinity. Your neighbors are watching. and you never run out of water. They say you have a beautiful garden. I wonder what they would say if they knew it was made of girls.
Oh my God.
Come on.
Wilt. For this next one, I need a little participation from the audience. The first 3 lines are repeating in this poem. So they just say against her, against her, against her. And all you need to do is once I say the first line, you repeat it back to me twice. So let's practice it. Against her, against her, against her. And then in this, I want you to release any kind of anger you might have at the current world, at the reflecting pool, at the patriarchy, at any kind of anger you might have. That's your chance to release it. Will. Against her, against her, against her. Will. Filling up on flowers. Were you emptier than expected? Placing her pistols on dinner napkins, picking your fangs with them later. Weeping, 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 Will, oh, losing teeth in the tussle. Do you thrive on thicker thistle? Missing her school games of tic-tac-toe, watching young girls on the playground. Written, 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 Will, nuking families at her wake. Have you guzzled enough gasoline? Compensating in the fractured mirror, building billiard table disasters. Broken, 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 Will. Guts in girls, make them golden. Do you label your gardens with placards? Not a name, but a placeholder. What did women call you before? Maybe Will, or Will, or Will. Very golden. Big brown eyes, bouncing down the bike path. Looking for astronomy, your father holds your hand. Annual girl, ending expectations. Nothing like perennials, your mother's culmination. Courageous, wishing on an eyelash. Conjuring your confidence. Run wild while you can. Thank you.
Yeah! What a great night, huh?
Yeah.
Good. Where's Makiah? Makiah? Hi, how are you? Come on up. This is Makiah Malan, is that how you say it?
That is how you say it.
That is good. And her book is Aligned is a series acknowledging the balancing of chakras, right?
Yes.
That's how we say that? Through poetry and mindfulness, beginning with the heart chakra.
Yeah, that's me. Hey. Like you said, my name is Makiah. I'm going to be reading a couple poems from my book, but I've been working on some new ones. So it's the start of a series. I started with the heart chakra because I feel like everything starts and ends with the heart. I'm working on the sacral chakra, and if you know anything about the chakra, that one's kicking my tush. I can no longer run from all the things that I was convincing myself I wasn't running from. But before I start that, I wrote this poem a while ago, and the first time I read it to a friend, they said, "Have you been hanging out with Anna?" And so I said, okay, I have to open up with this poem because I've been wanting you to hear it.
Yeah.
So I recently had a baby about 2 years ago, and I'm finally getting out of my postpartum journey. Thank you. It's been really hard. I struggle with writing about sad things and then sharing it. So this was kind of like what postpartum looked like to me. Muffled screams swallowed by broken glass. Shattered dreams of wooden picture frames replaced with anguish and despair and anxiety and triggered of times of bruises and blisters behind blind bloodshed begging to be believed. But they never come for the Red Sea. Only focusing on the prophecies fated to follow, I crave to be hollow, empty. As such, that is not what I was designed to be, meant to fall on swords and peace treaty wars unless they're internal, which is, let's be honest, what they prefer though. Never mind my intramural overspillage of turmoil, just go around. Small detour. I'll guide you. Wouldn't want to mess up your nice suit, more muffled screams. Tears watering seeds I can never remember if I planted correctly. Have you ever seen a lily pad sink? It's possible if what you saw wasn't what it was designed to be. What if that lily pad was actually the start markings of a great tree accidentally blown out to sea only to wind up in a lake landed on by mistake and now its purpose forever changed? Scorned by the promises that came before me, before the bluff breeze tore me open. More muffled screams. The theme of today has been like a lot of people processing their grief. I lost my brother to suicide 2 years ago, and it rocked my world. You never realize that how much someone's your best friend until they're not there anymore. You know, I didn't realize that I didn't know how to be myself without him, and that was really hard for me. And so this poem, if I can find it, is called Oxygen Deprivation. Months away from desperately striving to beat in hopes of embracing oxygen. Currently disappointing all expectations, succumbing to the entrapment of all things vile. Encompassed in the lowest silence humanly permitted to go, the twisted cauldron. Where all things go to perish and simultaneously be born again, there exists one sliver of a crack. Well, more like a crease. Well, really like a slit. Like a slit of a slit that was a glimpse at the previous preferred embodiment. Where am I? Forever, ever so slightly split like that slit. No. There my conditioning goes again, diminishing my demolition to design the deception of improvement. Woo. Nothing about this depreciation resembles a slit. No, more accurately depicted as a level of 10,000 destructions displayed in a 2013 typhoon depiction of devastation, 6,300 soul-severing scenarios, all simultaneously siphoning the secret sunken slivers, showcasing sustainable movements towards success.
Let's go.
Or really just any movement. The fragmented physical embodiment perceived as intact when in fact inconceivably shattered. The repair manual must have been lost in the move. Constantly conflicted between the impossible course of moving forward and the impossible course of going back, really being a perpetual procrastination I use as a safety net, doubling as a shackle to soothe my resistance. Resistance of a seemingly never-ending internal tug of war of wanting a future and yet just never wanting to fulfill the freshly fated future that now lays in front of me. Because of all the futures fabricated within all the failures of all the future in the far-fetched fairy tales, never could I ever have imagined that I would foresee this long foreseeable future. Never, not today. Yesterday, no, yesterday is in the past. We don't worry about yesterday, never, not never. Tomorrow, no use in troubling over tomorrow. 30 seconds, I just need 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds, shoot. When you think about it, 30 seconds is really just 30,000 milliseconds that all equates to the 30,000 shovels of swung of cement that now, I need a moment. Never. 30 seconds is all I needed. 30 seconds, which now equates to 30,000 milliseconds, which equates to the 30,000 shovels swung to cement the 115 tightly packed pounds of depression that now lays on top of me. Where am I? Where was I? I'm not sure anymore. Poem. I think we're gonna go into the books now. And this one is all about the heart chakra. So obviously it's about love and it's about realizing that you're worth it, regardless if people tell you that or not. And so this poem is a little bit more uplifting. It's called The Greatest Love of All. If you know me, I am a Whitney Houston stan, okay? And a lot of people think that The Greatest Love of All, that song was about kids and about becoming a mother or about being this. And if you listen to the lyrics, it was actually saying that the greatest love of all is the love that you get within yourself. And so if you always come back to yourself, you'll always be fine. So this one is a little bit more fun. I'm not going to use the mic because I can get really loud.
Let's go.
When I was 15, love was 5'9". Light skin with braces, waves and abs that never end. I mean, just the most perfect of faces. At 16, I learned that 15-year-old love is stressful. Okay, childish, exciting, and playful, but the lies, the deceit, the manipulation, the greed, no, I don't know what that is, but that is not love. At 16, love had a little sway in her hips. Peanut butter skin, one of the deepest dimples leading to the most perfect set of lips, intoxicating to all of my senses. Didn't know I needed, but left without any of my defenses. 16-year-old love is toxic, honey. Okay? The mind games, the insecurities, the half-truths, the oh-so-familiar deceit, the aching. Nah, that dang sure ain't it. At 17, I wasn't looking for no more love. You got me messed up. What is love? Never heard of it. You can keep it. Right before I turned 18, here comes love, dang butt. Here comes with a tall, lanky, but fly face of the cutest little turtle. Mind of a Greek god, though. Stimulating and back-breaking, talented and soul-taking, a body that wouldn't nor shouldn't. Woo, child, this had to be love. And it was. From about 18 to 24, okay, let's be real, like 18 to 23. Love was life-changing and motivating. Love made me submit all of me. At 23, I learned that same love had thorns. Blame, more deceit, and a betrayal that would leave me scorned, just a shell of good memories, frail and fragile as October leaves. It wasn't until 25. 25, aka 25. Love was brown skin, powerful and everlasting, soul quenching, toe curling, and passion grasping. She was all I ever wanted, needed. Never knew I was caged until I was set free, and I never knew true love until I fell in love with me. I'm gonna read one more. It's like kind of like a double poem. There's like a part two. It's like a sequel. It was the first sequel I've ever written, and so it was really fun. I called it Walt Disney, and it's also in my book because I just felt like all of the characters in the Walt Disney universe are meant to mislead you, but also meant to teach you lessons, right? Like, you think that Prince Charming is supposed to be charming the whole time he's teaching you a lesson about something else, and I thought that was really cool. So, part one. Friend, let me take you back to a time where Robin Thicke wasn't creating the only blurred lines, the era of Miley Cyrus, beer pong, and bathroom lines, summer days, kayaking, and clementines. In stumbles the conundrum of a companion. Loose fire like cannons, still water in tandem, all of my reservations immediately abandoned. Lover. Years passed and heartbreaks healed, in stumbles the same kid. With drunken nights, our passions silently sealed until intertwined fingers left those passions revealed. From that moment on, who had heard of a yield? I had it, and didn't want to for that matter. Oh, but there's also the matter that I'm not ready, but also not ready to let him fly free like confetti, which is what he did. Enemy. The love I felt hardened to stone as she came to me as a woman. No amount of lies could provide any cushion. My heart that I was trying to protect, bludgeoned. Stranger. More times faded as I wish my desire would. New flames stimulating the feeling of being understood. Maybe I can actually feel love like I never knew I would. And then the phone rings. Any feeling I thought I'd lost now in full swing. Who is this? A grin followed by, "You're king." And now, here you are, ready to make a new vow. Sweeter than sweet, rubbing, caressing, and lifting me off of my feet. But what do I call you now? I think I'll try mine. Just wait, part 2. Mine? Friend, lover, enemy, stranger. How about organ destroyer, body conqueror, mind tamer? The conundrum of a companion was an understatement. I woke up kindred to the girl behind the wall in Poe's basement. Unheard, heart disregarded, heart as and lost behind the pavement. Complacent to the blatant disrespect of my containment. To be so smart, I can sure be so freaking stupid. I mean, y'all heard the story. I had the blueprint. The structural flaws, in and out, translucent. Yes, it was a nightmare, but I was supposed to be lucid. Drenched in the flames of passion, I was supposed to have my hazmat. Loaded hose with water knowledge from the past, inextinguishable flames sent to burn me back to the blurred lines of who is she and what are we, never requiring too much, just all of me, requiring me to take all of the deceit, all the who are you gonna believe, just to leave me blurred, burned, and abandoned in the street. Why couldn't you be who you said you were? The moon to my stars, the sun to my earth. You said that you saw, understood, and respected my worth. You would never again be the source of my hurt. Friend, lover, enemy, stranger, heart crusher, soul sucker, mind rearranger. And the Oscar goes to someone who I thought would be different.
Thank you very much. I think we all just fell in love, too. Yeah. And last on the agenda, now, we share the building down there at Cincinnati because Sheldon's down there and I see him from time to time. You're also a massage therapist, right?
Yeah.
It's quite a cool place when you go to see his thing. The title of your book is in all caps, so I'll say it really loud, I guess. All's War in Love and Self is an intimate adventure unraveling the mysteries of the war zones we enter in love and self-discovery, tackling what it's like to be a soul navigating the human experience.
Yeah.
Sheldon Livingston.
Hi everybody, I'm Sheldon.
Hi Sheldon.
Good to see you. This is my book, All's War in Love and Self. I'm out of copies, but I will have more like in the next couple of days. So if you want to grab one, just get with me, get my info. Like I was saying to him, I feel like my poetry is literally just like a diary that rhymes. Like it's just my experience that comes out of me, and we'll go with it. I'm gonna start with this one. This one's called Abundance Above All Else. I have access to abundance. So why do I keep choosing poison instead? Something I can secure in my head, but my soul's actually desperate to be fed by my higher power. It calls me, but it never pulls me. I have to pull myself and trust the push will come from above when I least expect it to. Edison allegedly caught lightning in a bottle, but my body is a bottle already full of electricity. I am the lightning bolt and the hand that sent it.
Period.
I can say all this so amazing. And my favorite from you so far, girl. If everybody worked as hard as Anna did as much as she did,
No,
there would
Dad.
literally be nothing
No,
left to do.
Dad. No, Dad.
Here,
That's
girl.
true.
Yeah.
God.
That's true.
This one's called Write Your Own Bible. The sum of information from every religion can't touch your intuition. Scripture is one thing, but structure is prison. Helpful guides aren't ways of life. The way you feel is all that's real. All wise words are just advice. Even facts have equal opposite reactions. Tiptoe around every technique. Acquaint yourself with every teaching. With aim to evolve your own form of being. Flaunt like a butterfly and pollinate like a bee. Create your own jargon and remember to breathe. Thank you.
Come on. Yeah.
Thank you. So I'm like 1 year, 6 months single. Yeah. I wrote this like a year ago about that relationship, and like very recently I feel like completely on the other side of it. Like,
Love that.
oh, God. What the fuck? Anyway, Stimulate My Innocence is what this one is called. Six months, and I still haven't touched anything that felt like the underside of your skin. In those moments, I resisted my visions. In those moments, I resisted my vision in the midst of our collision, because I saw something bigger than my senses could perceive. The vision of you and me unable to be. I still jumped in, told myself it would be worth it. And it was, but now I'm different. My smile is cautious. My body is watching. My heartbeat is frosty. My spirit guides are starving, and so is my stomach. It's worth waiting for someone to notice me outside of my beauty and the other things the evil ones in this world taught us to believe is love. I'm on a mission bigger than terraplaning Mars. I don't need to breathe outer space when my hands hold powers beyond the stars. My body's reserved for those who speak the language of my heart and whose touch is synonymous with protection. I'm a human on the search to rediscover my innocence. If your eyes can help me find it, I'll invite your hands to be its stimulant. I didn't look at all. One more good, okay. This one's called, actually, no, I'm gonna do one. I'll do this one. So this book, like I said, a lot to do with love, a lot to do with like self-journey. If anyone grew up religious and has any type of gay in them, you all know how hard that was. So a lot of religious trauma and unpacking in here. This one's called Reaching to Belief. Religion breeds groups of people hiding behind evil deeds. And the good ones never speak up, it seems. Waiting to die as if living isn't heaven enough. Afraid of hell as if life isn't synonymous with love. Religious text used to create lies and capitalize on nuclear families and worker bees. This belief in God was invented, twisted, and delivered to you by a terrorist country. America. People will believe in anything but themselves. They threw God above the sky, out of each other's eyes and wildlife. Why do you think we're so disconnected? People walk around believing they're infected instead of seeking out abundance. How you spend your time is what you worship. The washing of your mind is nothing short of torture. Your brain thinks it knows, but your gut's the only pro. Open your heart. Call into your being. A response can only be heard if you're silently breathing. The wind assists pure intentions. Push through the hunger. Believe the thirst will be quenched. Reach into yourself. Where do you begin? Thank you.
That's our program, except for the sing-along. A couple things. We haven't had a lot of people, because everybody was captivated, I think. I mean, what a great turnout. Everybody ought to give themselves a hand. And the poets, come on. Well, there is some space out there. Take a look at what you can. On the way out, get yourself a coffee and make sure you tip them down there because they've been such good hosts for us here. So thanks again for doing this. It was just a fantastic thing. And Anna does work harder than almost anybody I've ever seen. Say a few words.
Yeah, so I just want to thank everyone again for coming out. I see unfamiliar faces. I see familiar faces from all parts of life that I've ever known for at least the past 2 years. And we're thinking of making this a regular thing. So, yeah, maybe like every year we could do something like this. Celebrate poetry authors. Maybe we could be open to other stuff. We'll see. So if you are a poetry author working on a book right now that you think might be out next year, or if you have something else that you might want to run by us, go with me after. We only have about 8 minutes left, 10 minutes left, and that's all the time I rented the space for. But please, before you leave, stop by the room next door. Don't make me cry, because Sheldon did, almost.
If we throw in an extra $20, can we get another 5-10 minutes up here? Or not? No.
But yeah, please check out the books and all the art and everything in the other room before you leave. These are all the poets, all the authors, really hard work that we through our entire lives into. So please help us with our journey. And then also I wanted to ask if all the performers today, if we could just take a quick picture up here.